So this week, let's sort out my interior for next to no money. But where we do spend money is on stuff that I think is wise. Steering wheel, steering boss, a few other like little period accessories, but everything else is on a budget. Entire interior for less than 200 quid. I feel like that's like a reasonable budget. It's gotta be. So on my first cheapest chips kind of interior thing, you saw me do the seat already. So that seat cover is about 50 quid with everything in, I think it were. If you haven't seen that video already, go back and see it. I'll kind of put the link in the description if I can. So these are what you use for shutting door and your armrests. Passenger side's virtually got no miles on it other than the actual like kind of foams start to come away from the cover. So this side's not going to be too bad. I'll do the repair and then I'm going to try to actually recover this. Driver's side, as you'd expect, is absolutely mangled. Door and everything still works. Everything's as it should be, but this is just not really acceptable. They've both got to look like this, but somehow match the interior stuff that I'm building. So this is what it should look like. This one's started to split away from the actual kind of structure. So I'm gonna have to repair all this area, which I don't think it's gonna be too crazy. I might just have to like poke a couple of little holes in it, fill it full of fiberglass or resin or something. So that one's not the end of the world. I'm just gonna try and see if I can just tidy this one up the best I can. That's the passenger side one. It's barely even been used. Driver's side looks like it's been chewed on for the last 50 years. It's absolutely knackered. So I think I'm going to fix this with some fixing foam, let that all tack off, and then I'll trim it all up, sand it up. I've got some fiberglass filler, I think it is. I'll fill it up with that and smooth it all out so it looks pretty decent. Kind of trim as much of this back so I can get all of the shape roughly the same as this one. And then I'll decide whether I'm going to cover them or not. Being that I'm insanely professional and proficient at all of this stuff, I've forgotten all of my mounts and stuff, so this is all being filmed wherever I can just place the camera. So sorry, mate. Right. So Alfred's cheapest fiber filler. Sorry if you can hear the door, it's really windy outside. Wick's cheapest spray foam. I'm going to screw this down to a piece of wood, I think, and then I'm going to spray the foam once I've keyed all this stuff, and then I'm just going to see where we go from there. Right, so I just cut a piece of wood, and it might sound weird, it's just out this, not kind of distort any further than it's already gonna. Being that I want to be able to take this off of this once it's been kind of foamed as well, I'm just going to put a bit of tape over the wood. It's not going to be perfect, it just needs to be enough that once I foam this on here, it's not going to actually bond to the wood. And this stuff, I could probably sand it off. I can't sand it off the block of wood. So this full structure is all broken. Everything inside it's just kind of flexible because over the years it's just rotten kind of to where it is now. So I'm just going to use just a little bit of super glue to correct what I can. Time for the arts and crafts bit. I've never done this before, so I better read some instructions and actually see what I'm doing. I guess you need to just trust the process. Just stuck a really smoky electric heater on, but while that's getting set up ready to be cut, I'm going to go and find some other jobs to do on the interior. I got an impact gun, I got a dead blow hammer, and not a lot between ears, so I'm pretty sure I can make it work somehow. I don't think that was very tight to begin with. I'm gonna put the nut back on, but not all the way, and then at least, you know, I can give it a good clout and not get it in the face. Yeah, this might not be that easy. I'm gonna go find my tools and see if I can get it off properly. It's a good job the steering wheel's knackered, because I would not normally remove a steering wheel like this. None of my puller tools fit. It doesn't have like any structure that you can grab a hold of with the puller without a chisel all of the Bakelite material off the wheel, and then it is useless. So I'm gonna try and just get it off with brute force, I guess, and hope for the best. I think that's everything I do at the minute. Just hope for the best. Right, try again. Shit. This one's a nice, easy fix. Done. I'll paint that at a later date. Since I turned the heater on, it has, you know, it's got big. I'm not not confident, but yeah, it's not looking great right now. So I'm not saying that I cocked up, but I'm not gonna lie to you, the forbidden marshmallow got a little bit out of control, and it started to seep off the end of the workbench. So yeah, my thought process is I wrapped a bunch of tape over it loosely and let it start to tack up, and then I'll just cut all this off. And in theory, this is kind of now like a bit of a mold. You know, I'm not too far away. You know, I know I'm gonna have all this excess to cut off, but now it's way more controllable, I think. You're learning along with me. Just seeing what we can do. The forbidden marshmallow's gone off. I've just literally took a scraper and just kind of, you know, took the heavy of it off. It's all still very much, you know, solid. But now I just need to try and start trimming it all back to see where we are. I definitely put far too much on. But you can see here that, you know, all I need to do is just trim the best I can to start getting a rough shape. I'm not worrying too much about like the actual structural side of the foam. I just need it to shape roughly to where I want to be. I can see kind of like the edge of the old frame through the foam here. So again, if I just get that all cut off, so now it's kind of similar size at least. And I can start working out the height. You can now see there's some structure for me to actually try and, you know, repair this with. Luckily I did put the tape on this because everything has stuck to everything. But yeah, this has all ended up being the waste that I've cut off so far. So what I'm going to do now is just sand this up a little, sand this, and then try to get this stuff kind of slapped in between. So I've screwed the other one down now. It's all foamed and everything. I'm just going to start losing that seam that's in the plastic, same as I have to do on this side when I start doing it. And then it should be then about ready to start getting body worked. I do have one that goes on my compressor, but if I'm completely honest with you, I just can't be arsed with the noise today. I'm really enjoying that it's just quiet and there's nothing going on. I managed to sand out that whole seam that was in the edge of it. I'll do the same with this one as well. And then I think I'm just going to coat this in the fiberglass stuff. I'm probably gonna just paint them now. They're actually coming out a little bit better than I thought. I thought it was gonna be all, you know, lumpy and all over the place. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna coat it in the fiberglass, and then eventually they'll get painted when I do the dash. Oh, if you listen really, really close, you can hear every single Volkswagen owner that reckons there's no filler in their car. Listen. When it comes to any sort of fiberglass or filler or anything like that, I always think it's best to mix with your art. So get a good spoonful, and then just whatever cheap or hardener you can get hold of, and just make sure it changes colour. That's the best way to explain it. I think Oded China described it as use a pea size for a golf ball, but if you mix in with your art, it's like, you know, it's like getting a good meal. You just keep putting gravy on it, don't you, until it's changed colour. Meh? That's kind of what you're after. For anyone who wonders how you get this good at chudding, I was taught to chud by my dad. He was taught to chud by his dad. And his dad was the era of, you know, they wrote that book on how to fix all your cars with like chicken wire and shit like that. But realistically, if you're not skint, you don't live in a council house, you can only just about afford your U-Pole bill, you're not a real chudder. I apologise if that offends anyone or upsets you, but no, chud recognise chud. I think I might run chud classes, you know. Just teach people how to be a cake decorator. 90% of those like barn doors you see nowadays, they're all just cake decorated. So I don't see why not. I won't charge you 100 grand or whatever it is for a barn door to be chudded up either. Like I said, chud recognise chud. You know, if you're skint like I am, most of the time, because you've got a stupid car obsession, you don't need to spend that kind of money on restoration when you've got fiberglass and self-tappers, do you? Be the best cake decorator you can be. So when you're at the point where you've foamed it, sanded it, fiberglassed it, sanded it, fiberglassed it again, sanded it, high build primered it, sanded it, you're at a point where realistically you've got to bring big guns out now to get rest it looking smooth. So now I'm going to bring in what I class as my big gun. This is the knackered one. It's missing a hole out the middle at the minute because I've just put an indent in it, but I'll drill that out later. But this entire thing is just made up of fiberglass and fixing foam. So once I've got this to a point where it's all sanded and bodyworked in a minute, I'll show you where it's going to look like, but I'll just time lapse getting it to a point where it's, you know, presentable. Steering wheel puller really threw me a curveball. I'm not gonna lie, I expected it to come straight off. Every other car I've ever owned, they're tight, but they come off. Yeah, so I think I've just yeah, I underestimated that. I own the majority of the pullers under the sun, and it's a imperial thread, which none of mine are imperial thread, and it's also so small that none of my actual pullers can get into the center of the wheel. So I've ordered one. It's a shitty Amazon one, but it'll do the job. Hopefully it'll just get it off so I can, at least make some progress next time I do the interior. So yeah, I know I promised a lot in this episode and I haven't really delivered any of it. So yeah, that's on me. Bit of a shit host. But steering wheel, I own it. It's in a box. Boss, I own it. It's in a box. The aftermarket stuff that's all period correct, I own it. It's all in boxes ready to go in. This is ready for paint. It literally just needs scotching off. These are now ready for paint. They literally just need scotching off. And, that's how it's going to look. It'll be body colour when it's done. My camera died, so sorry if the audio or it's just not that great a quality in general from this point forward. You can really see how much filler dust's in my hair in this light. But anyway, appreciate everyone for watching. I promise in the next few videos, I'm going to stop being a liar and it'll either run or I'll burn it down, like I've said. That's the agreement. It'll run or I'll burn it down. And also, I'll paint all the stuff that I've made today and all that another time. It's just too cold at the minute. I don't think it'll even fucking stick. But yeah, like I said, thanks for watching. Appreciate everybody. Have a good week.